In the heart of Tanzania, not far from the edge of the Serengeti, lies the modest village of Mombasa. It's the kind of place few maps remember, a scattering of huts beneath the ancient shade of a baobab tree. The villagers live close to the land, tending goats, drawing water from a stream that once ran clear and cool, and coexisting with the wild that surrounded them. For generations, lions were distant echoes in the night, roars from faraway hills. No one had seen one up close, not in Mombasa. That changed during the worst drought in living memory. The sun had scorched the land for months. The stream dried to a trickle, crops withered, goats collapsed. And one afternoon, as the red dust swirled on the horizon, a shadow emerged from the dry bush. It limped, dragging a hind leg, ribs jutting out from beneath dull fur. When it neared the outer homes, a child screamed, "Simba!" A lion. But this was no threat. It was a ghost of a lion, wounded, dehydrated, gaunt to the bone. It collapsed on the ground just past the goat pen, panting heavily, its sides rising and falling in shallow gas. An old gash festered beneath its ribs. Some said they should drive it away before it turned violent. Others thought it would die by nightfall. But Elder Mosey, who had lived longer than most trees nearby, said, "A lion this weak does not come to hunt, it comes to die or be saved." They named him Zuberi, strength through pain. The villagers did something unheard of. They brought water in gourds, crushed herbs for the wound, left scraps of goat meat, not enough to starve their children, but enough to give the lion a chance. He didn't growl. He didn't strike. He lay there, eyes calm, as if he understood. Each day he grew a little stronger. Over weeks, Zuberi's wound began to heal. His coat grew back, his legs steadied. He stayed near the village, resting in the shade during the day, wandering to the edge of the fields at night. He never attacked. He never left. One evening, a cobra slithered toward the hut of the boy who first found Zuberi. Before anyone noticed, Zuberi did. He pounced, killing the snake with a single swipe. From that moment on, something changed. He wasn't feared. He was respected. Wild dogs threatened the goat pens. Zuberi chased them off. Strangers passed through. They found themselves under his watchful eye. He never let harm come to the village. People began calling him the Guardian. 3 years passed. Zuberi grew into a powerful male. He bore scars but carried himself like a king, not of the wilderness, but of Mombasa. Then came the great drought. This wasn't like before. The land cracked open. The air turned to fire. And with the drought came desperation from all creatures. A herd of elephants, driven by thirst, began to migrate south, straight through the lands near Mombasa. They came at night, desperate and wild-eyed. The ground shook beneath their feet. They smashed through fences in search of water, trampling crops and crushing homes. The village panicked. They had no fences strong enough, no tools to scare elephants. That's when Zuberi stepped forward. He didn't roar. He didn't charge blindly. Instead, he paced toward the herd, circling the edges, roaring once, long and loud. A challenge, not to fight, but to warn. The matriarch, a massive female with cracked tusks, stopped. She flared her ears and trumpeted. But Zuberi held his ground. A lion defending territory, even alone, was still respected by the wild. The herd turned, not in fear, in recognition. This land was not abandoned. It belonged to someone. But the effort broke Zuberi. Days later, he collapsed beneath the baobab, the same tree where he had first found shelter. His body gave out. Old wounds reopened. The heat too much. He lay still as the villagers gathered. They didn't cry out. They didn't try to move him. They simply sat beside him, whispering thanks. Zuberi passed under the stars that night as the wind finally shifted. The very next day, clouds formed on the horizon. Within hours, rain fell, hard and clean. For the first time in years, the stream began to flow. The drought was over. They buried Zuberi beneath the baobab, marking the spot with a carved stone that read, "He protected us. We remember." And to this day, the children of Mombasa grow up hearing the story. Not a myth, not a fairy tale, but the true story of a lion who found kindness and gave his life in return. A guardian not born of legend, but of loyalty.